A long time ago, there was a village of farmers that lived in seclusion and enjoyed a nice, quiet life. One day, a child of one of the farmers was playing around in the fields when he spotted something shimmering in the distance. The child, brimming with curiosity, ran over to the shining object to find out that it was an egg. Not just any ordinary egg. The egg was a dark green, jade-like egg, and laced with gold swirls all across its surface. The child showed his parents, and the farmers wanted to sell it immediately in the nearby city. But the child with bleeding eyes insisted on keeping it. The parents hesitantly agreed after consulting with the other villagers, as they were not short on money or food in their village. Days, months, and a year passes in a blink of an eye. In the middle of a hot summer day, the egg finally hatches, revealing a creature with features resembling that of the ancient dragons of legend. The child was filled with excitement, and from then on, the two spent every moment together. The dragon and child grew up close to each other, sharing their relaxed, everyday life together. As a young adult, the two made a fearsome pair when driving away bandits that would try to raid the village from time to time. The two companions spent the most of their days in each other's company and protecting the village in the man's adult years. They lived a happy and a fulfilling life together as best of friends. But the lifespan of a dragon far surpasses that of a human, and eventually, the dragon's lifetime friend passed away in his old age. The dragon kept trying to protect the village, but without his dear partner, he was unable to prevent losses to the village, as the attacks became more and more frequent. Generations pass, and the dragon becomes aware of the fear in the newer generations of villagers. The once friendly villagers he grew up with were long gone, and the passing generations grew more and more wary of the dragon. The dragon decides it's time to find a dwelling outside the village, due to growing too large, and to put the villagers at ease. Finding a large cave, the dragon made his dwelling there, and protected the village from afar when needed. Deaths and loss still came to the village, and over the years, the villagers' contempt for the dragon grew more and more, yelling at the dragon to leave every time he shows up. The bandits that kept raiding the village became sick of the dragon interfering with their attempts to take over the village and its resources to create a foothold in the mountains. So they came up with a plan. The bandits sent an anonymous tip to the imperial city and notified the emperor's men that there was a village raising a dragon to overthrow the emperor and to take over the throne. And this was a threat that could not be ignored, so the emperor sent the imperial army to subjugate the village and the dragon they were raising. The army arrived and began slaughtering the villagers. By the time that the dragon arrived, everything was laid to waste, and the army set their sights on him. The best cultivators in the continent led the charge against the dragon and heavily injured him. Sad about his failure to protect the village, the dragon fled and flew as fast as he could. After some time, the dragon could not sustain the injuries any longer and crashes into an endless forest near a mountain range, bleeding everywhere from his heavy wounds and passing out. A few hours pass, and a bunny girl passes by. Noticing the dragon, she scurries off, returning with a basket full of medical supplies. The dragon wakes up and immediately starts to panic when he sees the bunny girl touching his wounds. The bunny girl quickly calms him down and continues to treat his wounds. After a week of treatment, the dragon can move around again and follows the bunny girl as she beckons him. The pair arrive at an elegant city deep in the mountains. And as they pass the residents look at the dragon with curiosity in their eyes. The dragon worried that they would hate him too, so he stayed close to the bunny girl And as they approached the center of the town, there were many people that were greeting them. Everything from bunnykin, lizardkin, wolfkin, demonkin, and many more were there, with warm smiles on their faces. An elderly-looking oxkin approached and greeted the two and introduced himself as the village elder. He welcomed the dragon with open arms, telling him that he is free to stay and go as he pleases if he ever needs a home. The dragon looked around at all the warm smiling faces, and his heart opened up and he smiled back and nodded. Everyone burst into cheers and rushed towards the dragon, showering him with questions and admiration of his jade-like scales. Overwhelmed by love, the dragon vows to himself that he will protect the city even if it costs him his life. Years passed since the dragon was brought to the city, and during that time he honed his skill and power until one day he received a message from the heavens. The dragon was told that he was of divine descent and was a god sent to the mortal realm to live a normal life by his mother and father. As the vision ended, a seal was released, and the dragon attained his divine power and a humanesque form. More importantly, he now knew his true name, Ounobu. After getting used to his new power and form, Ounobu fended off the imperial martial artists and cultivators after they found the city. Over the years, the elder passed on the mantle of city leader to Ounobu. Ounobu renewed his vow to protect the city with his life. As the time passed, every attempt to take the city by the imperial army was driven away with Ounobu's overwhelming power. Tired of these weak attempts, Ounobu sends a message to the emperor and warns him not to attack the city again, or the people of the imperial city and the emperor and his dynasty would come to an abrupt end. This was his only and final warning. After many failed attempts, the imperial army was in shambles, so the emperor had no choice but to agree, immediately making it a royal decree not to enter the forest, let alone go near the city. With that, people of the city lived peacefully for many years and prospered with Ounobu as their leader. And all he had was one message to the people of the world.
My name is Ounobu. If you treat us with respect, I will pay it back twofold. But if you hurt me or my people, I will pay it back tenfold.